there's a bit of water on the camera. Let's start again. So many of you have asked for this, so many of you. Please run to this new album. That's what you keep on saying. It's a band I've never heard of. Touché, Amoré, which is kind of like the sound I make when I'm trying to crack an egg really well before frying it. I kind of go touché for the egg, and then amore when I open it, and then cook it. All right, and this one's for Fatima. And the watch is on, the music is on. Come on, Amoré. What's going on here? What's going on here? Turbo hat activated. This is a lot to get your head round from the start. It's big, expansive, and then it mellows. This is going to be a fast kilometre. Yeah, so you got like these big riffs, and you got this constant guitar under it. Whoa! Something about that song just reminded me of the shredded bits of rind in Really Good Marmalade. I think I'm going to do the fastest kilometre ever with trench foot. Oh, lyrically, picked up on the lines. She comes like several suns, and then he compares himself to being on the moon. So does he rely on the brilliance of that sun for his existence? Interesting theme, straight off. Let's keep going. Musically, it's fascinating because it's heavy, but it's real emotional textures in it. I don't know. Oh, come on, let's go fast. I lament and then I forget, and then I lament again. It's cyclical, it's anxiety. That goes in with the idea of the sun and the moon being tied together in this dance through space. Is the moon anxious? I don't know. I never thought of the moon like that before. Fascinating line in that last song. I drank from the deepest pond when the ocean did me wrong. To me, that's about where do you get your happiness from? Does it come from a pond which is limited in its depth in its water? Or do you try and connect with the ocean, which compared to the pond is infinite, everlasting? Good themes already. 2 songs in. I am slipping like a motherfucker in this mud. Another great line. Do I die a little less often when I fake profound? It's anxiety, kind of guilt, I don't know. Should you act like you're more than you are? I don't know. There's so much to dig through. This is fascinating. Musically, the drums pound away like questions. The drums are always there. If you're an anxious person, that's what it's like sometimes, to feel the anxiety. So you got the drums, I like questions, and then you get the guitars, which kind of reach cathedral ceiling heights like thoughts. You got questions and thoughts dancing. That line then, I think I find ways to reinvent the past. Really reminds me of something that Kierkegaard focused on in his writing a lot. And it's a fascinating idea that your past, like your future, is always there waiting for you. Yes, I need reminders of the love I have. I think it's about someone finding their place in the world, what it means to be human, when they think that their realness, their identity, has relied on someone else for so long. And that song ended on a chord that just felt like a question. This is such a probing, digging album so far. Now I'm in time with the drums. I'm the questioning runner. Woo! This is 3:30 kilometre pace with a mouthful of mud, a shoe full of worms. I'm loving it. Okay, something about these riffs to me feels like if the band wanted to, the riff could be clearly defined. It could feel bigger, but they want to keep in with the questioning nature of the music, so there's stuff going across the riff, against the riff, which makes it less obvious what it is. So, you're thinking about the music and the lyrics. Yeah! This is passionate. Wow! It's just like no holding back. Let's go for it, let's match it running wise. I haven't jumped this stream for a while. Today may be my day. Completed it. Just some of the textures musically. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That to me is the sound of loss. That to me, wow, that's another riff. Yes, I come out of hiding. I think he said just before dawn. That's put an idea in my head. Let me navigate this treacherous terrain and I'll talk about it. Whoa, so much mud. Look at this. Shit. I'm alright. I just ran past a guy on a bike. He'd obviously been fishing. He had a dead fish on his handlebars. I'm actually latching onto the delay on his guitar notes to keep my pace going. Each delay is like someone on my shoulder telling me to run faster. There's a real awareness to this music, a real sense that all that matters is now. I'm feeling every step on this run. I'm feeling in control of my body. I'm not switching off or kind of living inside the music. It's like me and the music and at the front of my brain, and we're just running together. It's very human, and it's making me think, how does it feel as a human to be running through this mud in orange shoes? Feels very silly but exhilarating. I heard something then about going through the night for some kind of victory. It reminds me of something St. Augustine writes, that we live at the strange time between the light of creation and the light at the end of the world, at the end of time, redemption. And while we're living in these shadows, it's a question of existentialism. It's about how to be as human as we can for the times we're in. This album is touching on that, and I'm in some glorious sunshine at last. It's that all-important philosophical thought. As humans, we're always asking what the truth is because we don't possess the truth ourselves. And now, an album that felt really personal. I think it's talking about politics. Question yourself. You've got to question the world because we got to find out where we fit in the world. Oh, that's my favourite guitar line on the album. I love a good bend. Early on in the album, the pounding drums felt like questions, and now when he's saying against my will, the drums seem to scoop him up like he's a baby and protect him. He's being breastfed by a snare. That's cool. Yes! See? These riffs have come together now. You can see it clear as day. We've battled, we've fought, and we've won some kind of meaning. Honestly, it feels like the confidence with which you can handle these questions. The way this drum beat now has got a bit of disco to it. It's no longer terrifying and hammering. It's playful and silly. We've got a nice gentle piano. I got a feeling there's going to be a big message in here, so I'll keep my mouth shut till the end of it. I know I said I wasn't going to talk till this song is over, but like a jigsaw, everything's just fitting into place. I can't wait to talk about it at the end. This is amazing. On an album where I was saying, oh, we finished. That's 8 and a bit kilometres. On an album where I was saying the drums seems to like provide the soundscape for a lot of the questioning going on. The album finishes with drums just asking questions on their own. Right, let me put my jumper on. We'll have a chat about that. That was absolutely incredible. I need to listen to that album again because there's so many questions and themes that I loved in there, and it really made me think of that Augustine quote about how like we are caught between the light of creation and the final light of redemption, and in between in the shadows it's about working out what it is to be human. And that album started with a blast of light from several suns, and the guy himself was on the moon, so he's defined by the sun. And we had the creation, that felt like the creation at the start of the album, the creation of a new world. And then as the album went on, to me it finished on him openly talking about how he's created this work of art from that world. So it's about not finding yourself or finding your soul, because that is something which is everlasting, like the ocean. When he wants to drink from the ocean instead of a deep pond, it's about finding art in this world, and that art itself can feel everlasting, can feel like a soul. It's about finding yourself. It's incredible, just mind-blowing. I think one of the magical things with it is that you experience the world he's describing in the album. You live through everything he's talking about. You feel it. You feel the anxiety. You feel some kind of guilt that's going on there. I don't know. And then at the end, you seem to be in parallel with him when he creates this work of art that's come from that world he's lived in, the time he's lived in. That was absolutely amazing. Like I said, I'm going to listen to the album again when I get home. Good run as well. It was tough, it was muddy, but that was a good solid run. Thank you very much for everybody recommending that. I'm going to go listen to a much more Touché Amoré over the weekend, or the week. Anyway, see you later. Have a fantastic day. Sorry, one more thing I'm thinking about. There was a thing about a connection between the infinite and something which isn't permanent. So, you know, like our life isn't permanent, the things we feel aren't permanent, but there was a search for that. There was a search for how those two things can be joined together. And I don't know, again, like I've said on a few albums, I feel like the answer was art, and that more than ever right now with all the cuts that we got going on by the government, to me, art is a way of us finding permanence in a world which isn't permanent, in a world which is constantly changing. Art is everlasting.